And here we are, back in the program for the posing of faces. Though we still haven't gotten to that yet. Look at this guy, he doesn't even have a face. It's disgraceful. Alright, let's go to Choreography and click on New. I want to create a brand new scene for this. Save changes? No. I'll name this Face Poser 3 so we can get a franchise going. Press Enter. For Create Actor, our name is going to be Dude1, what I called that guy earlier. Now we're still using the Turbo Chi model in the preview here, but that's okay. Nothing we do in this section is going to be seen in Face Poser. It's all going to be in-game. So we'll be operating a little bit blind here, but I'll help guide you through it. This is also known as dead reckoning. Like when pilots fly at night without using instruments. It makes them hardcore and will help you build character. Okay, do you remember what our next step is? Go over to the actor name and right-click on it. And we want a new channel. And the name can be anything. I'm just calling it animation again. And for the Half-Life 2 people, we're going to right-click here and create a null gesture. You may not need it, but it won't hurt anything. Click OK. I'm just going to adjust it here, but really it makes no difference, so I question why I'm even doing it. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you is how to make our actor look at something. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is right-click in the blank space somewhere, then click Look at Actor. Now you can ignore most of these options. There are easier ways to adjust your settings than here. But we do want to give this a name, so I'm just going to call it Look Left. And for Look at Actor, here's where you type in the name of what you want them to look at. If you select the drop-down menu, then you can see you have a few more options. Most of these are more useful for making an actual mod than Machinima. All these target 1, 2, 3, 4 options are just a redundant way to do what we're already doing, so we're going to skip that. Looking at the player might be useful for you, though you have to remember that the player is the cameraman. Looking at self can be useful if you don't want your actor to rely on idling animations and look around. If you tell him to look at himself, that's like giving him a digital lobotomy or putting him in a trance. He'll behave if you do that. But right now, I'm just going to type in the name of that info target we created earlier, Head Left. So click OK. And notice when I go through the timeline here, his head isn't going to react at all. But the function will still work in the game, so don't worry. Alright, now if we play this, we can see this is only going to last half a second, which isn't very long. So let's stretch this out a couple seconds so we can see what's happening. And unlike gestures, there's no limit to how long you can stretch out your look at function. So it's just however long you need it. Alright, that looks like a good length. And the next thing we're going to want to do is ramp this, like we learned earlier. Otherwise his head will snap into position like a chicken or something. Our dude is not a chicken. He is a dude. So click on the ramping tool and create a point by holding down Control and clicking. I find a good ramping time for looking is about 3/4 of a second, but it's up to you. And since the end is a little over 1.5 seconds, I'm going to create another point so we can transition out smoothly. Now when this plays, he should look at the target we created, then transition out of it. Let's go and make one for his right side, except this time let's cheat. This is already a perfectly good look sequence here. So let's just select it, right-click, and click on Copy Event to Clipboard. You can also do this by pressing Ctrl-C. Then right-click somewhere and click Paste Events. You can also do this by pressing Ctrl-V. Notice it remembers the timing info too. This technique can be useful for transferring events between different scenes as well. Now let's slide this over. Now he's set to look left twice in a row, so let's change that by right-clicking on it, then click Edit Event. And for the name, I'm changing this to Look Right so we don't get confused. And for the actor, just change it to Head Right, then press OK. Now he's going to look left, then look right, and we didn't have to change much at all. That's about all there is to know for telling your actors where to look. Remember, they can look at anything with a name. So let's learn about turning next. It's not much different.